killed 3 members of her family 10 years ago, is going to go free today.
She has made huge gains and huge rehabilitative progress in terms of where she was to where she is today.
The now 22-year-old woman, identified by the court only as JR, was just 12 years old when she and her then 23-year-old boyfriend, Jeremy Stenke, broke into her parents' Medicine Hat home and killed her parents and her 8-year-old brother. The woman has now served the maximum sentence under the Youth Criminal Justice Act. Her former boyfriend, Jeremy Stenke, remains in prison where he's serving a life sentence with no chance of parole for 25 years. Well, for more on this, we're joined by Robert Remington, author of Runaway Devil, a true crime novel about this case. He joins us from Victoria, BC this morning. Mr. Remington, what can you tell us about this young woman?
Well, she was very, very smart. She was very advanced for her age. She came across more like she was 16 years old. Jeremy Stenke, who was much older than her, was actually more kind of stunted. He was more like he was 16. They kind of met in the middle. And ever since her arrest and conviction, we know very little about her. We only know what we are told in the court, which is precious little. She has these appearances once or twice a year for the last 10 years. And basically the reports have been glowing, saying that she's doing fine and she's progressing, and that's where we are today.
Indeed, the judge yesterday seemed to commend her during her time and said something to the effect that her parents would have been rather proud of the way she's turned out, which I thought was rather odd when I read that.
Yes, I did too. I think he could have worded it a little better. I mean, I think what he meant was when he sentenced her, he said, you have a chance to live a life that your parents would be proud of. The fact that they're now deceased and killed at her hand, I don't know how they can be proud, but I think that's what he was getting at. And so, going forward, we'll see what kind of a life she lives. Unfortunately, unlike this crime is just as brutal and sensational as Homolka and Bernardo. But unlike Carla Homolka, who can be tracked and who can be exposed, this woman can't. She has the protection of the Youth Criminal Justice Act, and she can remain, unknown to us, basically, as we go forward. Some people have problems with that. I mean, these were 3 of the most serious crimes that we have as a society, and the fact that she can remain anonymous going forward is bothering to a lot of people.
Did you feel that same worry based on the research that you did for your book, which you titled, by the way, Runaway Devil?
I have struggled with this. I believe, I trust the system that she is not at a risk to reoffend. However, I think that and in most youth crimes, I believe that, their identity should be protected. But this is 3 counts of first-degree murder, and I think that those who need to know, for instance, if she were apply for a job working with children or anything like that, perhaps those crimes should remain on the books. Now, they will remain on file for 5 years, but if she commits no crime as an adult between now and the next 5 years, her record will be sealed and her youth record will basically vanish. And I have some problem with that based on the fact that this was 3 counts of murder.
Robert Remington, author of Runaway Devil, speaking with us from Victoria, BC this morning. Mr. Remington, thank you very much.
Thank you, Brett.
Once we head to